Fulham nil, Manchester United 1. Goal scored by Martinez. For the past few weeks, Martinez has been our savior. Hope you know that.
I think it has to do with obviously the way the team builds. That's another thing for this formation. When the team sort of like plays well for a period, it has it sends about 5 to 7 players forward, and then sort of like brings the wing backs inside, and then tucking in spaces in the middle of the park, and so they can create from there. So it's also sort of like the advantages on the offensive side of playing in this style, and then where you can then have them pinging the long balls or try to take a direct shots. And sometimes it goes in, sometimes the crosses will go, or sometimes it wouldn't. But then again, that's sort of like the perks of this formation on the offensive. That's it really.
It took Manchester United 78 minutes to shoot their first shot on target.
First shot on target, and then for me, I thought going into the game, what I saw in the first half, because the first half was particularly very, very, very terrible. It was a very poor display from Manchester United. But I think the approach in the first half was just not to concede, from what I understood or what I was watching. I saw that Manchester United was too careful. They were in sort of like bold on the ball when they were on the ball. I'm talking on the offensive side. Again, this has to do with I noticed three things particularly. For the opting time, it's not like we're taking a dig, but I think Rasmus Højlund has to learn to do better. All the balls he got, like he almost didn't get a free ball the whole of the first half. He was always in a tug of war with
defenders. I've told you this thing before now. His problem is that he loves fighting defenders instead of concentrating on the ball.
Sometimes there were times when Manchester United were looking to create. I was like, can you find your position, Shada? Find yourself somewhere between the two central backs, sort of like either be directly between them, forming that a horizontal line, or somewhere below, or sort of like on the other side, just forming a triangle or something, so that when you get the ball before this one comes, you're able to then get the ball. And his touches particularly was even terrible. Like his first touches on the ball were very terrible in the first half, because Manchester United went direct, and it was difficult because he couldn't hold the ball on. It made it difficult for Manchester United to play, because there were times to ping the ball forward for him to hold it and then sort of like bring in the midfielders and the wide players on. But it never happened for all the time he was on the pitch. I think he was a shadow of himself today. Sometimes, yes, I know he struggles, but on some days he's able to get those, quick, good touches and sort of like, move away from the defenders. But today, it never worked out for him all of the game. It's so terrible. I think I really don't know what's going on with. Is it him, or it's the coaches? I think they should be able to find a solution for him. If I understand, he's the central forward who doesn't really want to get the ball. He wants to run, make runs, and the ball pinged forward to him. But on the days where we ping some balls directly to him and expect for him to hold off, I think a lot of job needs to be done really on that aspect. Because as a central forward, your strength only shouldn't be about running off the ball. Look at what Jimenez was doing today. Jimenez was a serious menace for Fulham. Our central backs, he was winning the balls. He was being physical. Yeah, you can be physical, but you should win the balls. And also going forward, I really didn't understand what we were doing. Garnacho, for me, I think we've always said it. I think Garnacho is a substitute. He's not a starter.
Yeah, I've said
that. He need a winger. He's more like an even now. A couple of fans.
The good impact player from the bench.
Yeah. A couple of fans may want to have a go at me, but even while he was on form, now I'm talking last season and a season before, where the half season he played the season before. And just last season, I'm talking the season before last and then last season, because obviously he's basically just been in the team or actively in the team for a season and a half now. So even that last season, when we saw that some games when he started, yes, we were crying for Rashford, and then he began to start, and then suddenly it was like his performances dropped and all that. Like, he sort of is an impact guy. Give him that last 15, 20 minutes. And I think that's the best maybe he is at the moment, or he would ever be. I can't tell the future, but at the moment, I think he's an impact sub. And that's why I think Manchester United needs a proper attacking wide player on that left. Because he kept on trying to force a lot of things. We saw how Ahmad, there were times where for like 5-10 minutes, Ahmad was okay to play the ball into the midfield, do a little bit of like body feint work, and play back, pick out the ball, run through the midfield, do a couple of other things to get the wide defensive player who is on him, aside creating space, to also walk the wide defensive player, because a couple of times it was Bassi. They sent sort of Bassi on him, so Bassi was a bit physical on him. So what he did was like get Bassi moving. He moved Bassi away from comfortable positions. I think this is also something Garnacho should look to add into his game, because he just picks up the ball and just want to make the dash forward, regardless of what's going on in your front. I understand he has the pace and the skill set to beat the man in front of him, but then the question has never really about the man standing in your front. It's about what goes on behind the man in your front.
Yeah,
that's always where the whole thing lies. And then I'm seeing all these things. I'm like, nah. The whole of today, I was like, I wish we had better. I wish we had somebody better who would come on and make something out of that wide depth. Because I felt like he had a lot of possession and he wasted them. He had a lot of possessions and nothing really came out. And the little times we saw Ahmad was even more. I'm talking of. I thought Ahmed utilized the ball rather than better than Garnacho utilized the ball on the night, and I thought that impacted our game. So we really need to, maybe not this winter, but then in the summer, need to be out there in the market seriously shopping for a wide offensive player. Then in the middle of the park, I think.
What positives are you going to take from this game today?
Yeah, for me, the only thing I'm going to take from the game is the willingness to fight. I thought I saw a team that was not willing to lose.
What about Kolia?
Yeah. Obviously, like if you see Kolia, I'm talking now. The game he started in the midweek against Rangers. There was something particular about the lad I loved. He was always looking to make himself available. He was always peeling off from the defensive players and making himself available in very good positions where he could not only retain possession of Manchester United, but also create chances and hurt your. Because one thing about when we're talking about chances created and hurting your positions, a lot of people think you have to be on the ball to hurt your positions. A little dart away from, the center of activity and creating extra options sort of like widens the pitch and makes it more difficult for the opponent to either block off your channels or even intercept the ball or even, press you. So I think that's one thing I'm seeing in Kolia. I think he moves, to be honest, I think he finds himself in good positions better than Kobe Mino does. Kobe may be better than him on the ball. I'm talking ball retention, creativity, progression, all that kind of stuff. But I think when it comes to freeing up himself to get the ball, keep the ball, retain the ball, play safe, assume his defensive position, I think he does it excellently well at the central midfield. Manchester United really, really, really needs a proper. I think we need a proper 10. We need a proper 10. I'm saying this thing. I think I'm happy with Bruno, but I think we need a 10. We need another 10. I'm talking of a very mobile 10 who is able to break lines with his passes. I'm talking now a young Luka Modric, a young Eriksen. I'm talking now a young Thiago Alcantara. I'm talking a young Xavi, Iniesta, and the likes of them. I'm talking of a young David Silva. I'm talking of a prime Bernardo Silva. I'm talking of a prime Juan Mata. We need those kind of 10s who are able to make those darted runs between lines, break opposition lines, and pass balls forward. Because all our balls seem to be from the middle of the park. All our balls seem to be just going diagonal. Nothing really goes forward from our ball. If it's not going diagonal, it's going backwards. From the middle of the park, Manchester United doesn't create anything going forward. And this is a big worry. It has been a worry for the last 4 years. We have always said this thing. It has been a very big worry for Manchester United for a very long period of time now. This doesn't have to do with Ruben. And again, I think we're also good for Kolia. Yeah, Kolia comes in and all that. But the middle of that park back, I think with the way he plays, we need more players. I think each position needs very good players too. Two of very good players in each positions, because we saw today Ugarte was really drained. Ugarte was drained. And he was drained. He was drained also because of the first half. I think the first half, having sat back a lot of the times and having the opponents move you around, and you're trying to make those defensive tackles to break their lines, to sort of like stop their plays and all that. I thought you always dream, obviously, as long as you're not the one in possession and dictating the paces of the game and all and the directions of the ball, you obviously get tired out faster or quicker. So for me, I wasn't impressed. It's just an okay performance. Don't get beat. I think this is what we've been crying for the last couple of weeks. Results. Don't get beat. Don't concede the first goal. That's just what I'm going to give them. I saw the team ready to fight. I saw Licha fighting. To be honest, I saw Joe Godalo fighting. He gave everything he had literally on the pitch. I saw Ugarte fighting. I saw Bruno again. Like, a lot of people may not love Bruno, but I'm a huge fan of Bruno because of not just his creativity, but his presence. Bruno runs the breadth and length of the pitch. He's going to drop it out there for us every night. I think, again, Maguire was excellent today again. I also think that Matthijs de Ligt was excellent, and I understand why he's taking out Matthijs de Ligt, because Matthijs de Ligt has been struggling he has not been 100% in the last couple of days, but then he has been having to play him because obviously we need him, but having to take him off the time he did for Lenny to come on, but I thought again Matthijs de Ligt and Maguire, we are very composed at the back, and they sort of like commanded their space. A couple of errors here and there, but then again, I'm talking overall. So that's just the positive. Don't get beat. Happy they weren't beaten rather on the night. Just happy, not exactly happy with how we managed the ball. Maybe in the last 5 minutes, I'm talking now the extra time, even the last 5 minutes of the game when Fulham sent almost all the man forward trying to create. That's when when Kobe and Ahmad did the whole link up, the offside. Sadly, the goal was ruled out offside and all that. Maybe that was why we're able to get that. But then overall, it was just an okay game. Good, we didn't get beat.
What are your final thoughts? Let's round up.
My final thought is, just ensure you don't get beat. The next game we're going to, we're traveling to Salzburg midweek, Thursday, and then after that we come home to play Crystal Palace at Old Trafford, and after that we'll have Leicester at Old Trafford. So I think don't get beat at Stade Bucharest. Don't get beat against Crystal Palace at home in Old Trafford. I understand they have been struggling. The confidence is pretty low in Old Trafford. But then again, you may concede, but just ensure not to get beat against Crystal Palace, and then that will be 4 games on the bounce without losing. And then if you can also go up against Leicester and don't get beat, I think it will bring you have you be in a better place mentally and then physically also, how you feel and all that when you are up against Tottenham Hotspur. Because if you ask me, I don't think Tottenham Hotspur is a better team. I've maintained this since last season. I don't think Tottenham Hotspur is a better team than Manchester United is. So I really hope that we are able to, not get beat in the next couple games. I'm talking 3 games before we travel to London again to play Tottenham Hotspur, and go to Tottenham Hotspur and give them a fight. Go to Tottenham Hotspur. They are going to leave spaces for you. We know how they want to play. So give them a fight and ensure also not to get beat at Tottenham. So that we're going to say then that we have had an excellent January and February where we have gone 8 games or 7 games and then just get beaten just once. I'm talking now the Brighton game. The last time out in the Premier League. So then again, we can then begin to say, all right, they are becoming a team, because all we're asking for them this season is just to be a team. Be difficult to beat. I understand you're struggling to create. Be difficult to beat. Then before we think of finding solutions now for our central forwards, our 10s, our wide players, the wing backs, because we're looking at about 3. We need not less than 3 players coming on by summer. 3-4 players need to come on in the summer, really. So I hope they can do better. I'm talking of the creative side. I hope a lot of job has to be can be done rather on Højlund, how he goes about this game. He should be able to. There's something Van Persie does to central backs. He takes them onto the angle. He moves them away from the central positions and takes them to the angle. So it's sort of like, makes it difficult now for them because they are now conscious that once you get the ball and you face them, you have them in an angular position and you're able to run ahead of them. So you've got options to either go left or either go right. So a lot of things we see some very good central forwards in the league. I think the job really needs to be done. He's got the potential. Since we aren't high flying at the moment, our attack is not fluid. Obviously, it's going to be difficult for him to get all those darted balls, on the wide for him to pick them and run all those things. Also, that's sadly, that's also how Zexi. Sadly, that's also how Zexi loves to play. He loves to get the ball on the run and make things happen. But the team right now is not there, and so all I can say going forward is don't get beat, stay compact, be a very difficult team to beat, and then when you create your chances in a game, since you're struggling around in the last couple of games to create chances, once you create chances, try to bury them out. But all, it wasn't an excellent game, but good thing we left Kevin Cottage with a victory on the night here.
All right, Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you.
Yeah, thank you, Ahmed, for having me. Have a good evening.